Behind me is a beautiful brand new 2026 Toyota RAV4 Limited in a gorgeous midnight blue metallic paint finish. Now, the owner took delivery just about a few hours ago and drove it straight to my house so we can do the full new car prep. And of course, applying a protection like a ceramic coating. So when people take delivery of a brand new car, they think automatically that, hey, it's brand new, it's ready for a ceramic coating, right? Well, that couldn't be any further from the truth. So what happens is under proper lighting conditions and of course inspection, what we're going to see are many paint defects either left from the dealership itself during the prep stages. It can be also touch-ups or corrections done from the car manufacturer at the factory. Of course, those vehicles are transported by train, by truck, by boat. They're left in dealership lots for long times, also at car docking ports and all that kind of stuff. So there are many things that can happen. You can get embedded brake dust, iron fallout, contamination. There's things that can stick to the finish, or again, imperfections when it was built at the factory. Sometimes they do some quick touch-ups with a rotary machine that can leave some holograms and swirls. There can be some scratches again from improper prep or delivery. It's very rare that a car is ready to receive a coating. Also, don't forget the majority of the car dealerships, before they deliver the car to you, they apply a wax or a sealant, something inexpensive and quick just to give that gloss and pop before delivery, and that can impede the bonding of a coating. So in this video, which is part number 1, we're going to take care of all of the preparation, right, before the application of the ceramic coating, and that will be in part number 2. So in this part 1, we're taking care of fully washing the vehicle, of course, cleaning the wheels and tires, doing the decontamination steps, so mechanical decontamination with a clay towel, chemical decontamination with an iron remover to remove any embedded contamination, rail dust, brake dust, fallout, and all that kind of stuff. Then we're going to do paint correction steps, because yes, even brand new paint, as you guys probably saw, is not brand new until it's properly detailed. Many defects are there. We're going to try and remove those light blemishes. Nothing hardcore needed. We're preserving as much clear coat as possible. And again, all that in preparation for part number 2, which will be the panel prep step to remove polishing oils and residue, and then applying the ceramic coating. So lots of cool things to come. And then we're going to see, of course, the end results and how much better than new it is. And that's going to be a true testament, of course, and to give basically the vehicle the best possible foundation before we go ahead and apply the ceramic coating. I remind you that I'll leave all the links to the tools, products, and equipment in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Talking about enjoying the show, let's dig right into it. So let's go ahead and start the show. Do you see these colored dots on new tires? So they're unsightly, but they're actually there for a reason. Those are manufacturer quality control marks to ensure optimal balanced installation. So the yellow dot typically is the lightest point of the tire, which should align with the heavier valve stem. And the red dot indicates the stiffest point or the highest point of the tire where the maximum radial force vibration occurs. So to remove those, I simply use Citral 266, a citrus-based degreaser, lightly spray it on, take a microfiber towel, wipe those off, and the job is pretty much done. And so that makes for a nicer appearance, right? So next we move on to the first step, which is going to be the pre-wash. I'm using Clean by Pan Decon shampoo. This is the higher alkaline version of the soap itself. So it has a pH range of 10 to 12. A 1 to 10 ratio is used in the foam cannon, basically 90 milliliters of product and 900 milliliters of water, or 3 ounces of product and 30 ounces of water. It doesn't have to be scientifically measured in your foam cannon. If you have those marks there on the side of the foam cannon container, you can use 100 mils of product and 900 mils of water, and that's still good enough. And so I'm using the AR630 V2 pressure washer. That's 2.3 gallons per minute as the pressure washer of choice. So we're getting some beautiful, thick, rich foam. Thickness of foam doesn't mean more cleaning power, by the way, guys. It's just a visual bliss kind of thing. But even if it's runnier, if you have a weaker type pressure washer, there's absolutely no problem. So the alkaline soap here is used to remove more of the road film, the oils, the greases, a bit of bud guts that might be there because we're at the start of this spring season, and also while this vehicle is being driven to my house, well, you don't know what else has been on the road. So this is part of the decontamination, and also to remove or start breaking down any of the LSP or last step protection typically applied by car dealerships. So we're seeing a little bit of beading here, so that tells me there's something on the paint, right? So we're going to address that with paint correction later on. Next, we're moving to cleaning the wheels and tires thoroughly. So I'm using Yum Undress. This is a tire cleaner of a pH of 13, and then Yum Wheels. This is a wheel cleaner with an iron remover built in, pH of 5, and on top of that, we're spraying the Yum Wheel Foam. So that has a pH of 13.5, allows both products underneath to dwell. And this triple layer type combo is for those deep cleanings. And of course, this is the first time we're prepping the vehicle, so we want to make sure all the surfaces are thoroughly prepped. And that combo allows you a lot more dwell time because the foam allows the product to dwell underneath, as we're looking at the iron remover change to that purple red tint, indicating that it's reacting with the brake dust. So it helps to kind of oxidize the brake particles, the iron particles, make them more soluble in water. As we look at the iron remover fallout there that's contained within the wheel cleaner. So a very good and effective system when used as a system, by the way. So after that dwell time, when we used a bunch of different brushes for the tires, for the wheels, for the barrels, and for the lug nuts, we're going to rinse off and then use the Clean by Pan Ceramic Spray Sealant version 2 in a spray-on rinse-off application. Since we're not doing a wheels-off detail in this case for the customer, I still want to apply some protection that's going to last a few months on there and make the cleanings a lot easier. So spray on, let that dwell about 30 seconds, rinse from bottom to top and then top to bottom. For washing the vehicle, we're going to use the Clean by Pan Wash Mitt, 100% South Korean, beautiful 8713 blend of polyester polyamide, 1070 GSM. And talking about soap, here I'm using Clean by Pan shampoo V2, double the concentration compared to V1, even more slickness and cleaning power. So in 4 gallons of water or 15 liters, all I need is 1 ounce of the shampoo. That's 30 milliliters, so a little goes a long way. You're going to have tons of lubrication, and that's essential when you're washing a vehicle because you don't want to induce any marring, right? The majority of the love marks, the swirls, the scratches, or the marring come from the hand washing and towel drying stages. So you always want to make sure you have proper lubrication when hand washing your vehicle, and again, proper lubrication with a quick detailer or drying aid when you're using your microfiber drying towel. So here we're getting an amazing wash experience, and the scent is insane. We're still getting that tropical vibe we kept from V1 that was a crowd favorite. So we improved here on the performance itself. And as you can tell, not only the lubrication, but we're having those nice suds on the surface. The goal here is to make sure that all the surfaces are clean. So remember, with the pre-wash, we did the decontamination step to remove more of that road film, oil film, and kind of stuff, right? And now we're doing the contact wash to remove more of that whatever film of dirt is left on the vehicle. Make sure you thoroughly rinse the vehicle, and that includes the wheel wells as well, where a lot of stuff often gets embedded there. And once that's done, we're going to do the decontamination now. So we're combining the Clean Iron Remover to remove embedded brake dust, iron fallout, and rail dust, and the Clean Clay Towel, which is a synthetic perforated decontamination towel, super fine grade material on there, so will not mar the surface when used with proper lubrication. So 1 spray of the iron remover in the towel, 1 spray on the surface. Where you sprayed on the surface is where you drop the towel on there, and you start gently moving the towel up and down, left and right. No pressure needed here. So this combo works well together because the Clean Iron Remover does not contain any solvents in there and can act as proper lubrication on the surface for the clay towel. And the clay towel can be matched in this case with this specific iron remover. So not all clay towels can be used with iron removers, and not all iron removers can be used as clay lubricants. So be careful and mindful of the combo that you're using. Here we're using the Clean Drying Towel to dry the vehicle. So dual-sided. So it has on one side 1080 GSM of 70/30 twist loop, and on the other side an 80/20 blend for the micro twist side, so it won't snag on emblems. Here I'm using my Big Boy Blower R Pro car blower to further remove any standing water from the grills, the nooks and crannies. Here we're drying the wheels and tires thoroughly. Inside the mirrors, the door handles, basically everywhere water can stand that a drying towel alone is not capable of removing. So again, all the nooks and crannies, because we don't want any water to interfere with the application of the ceramic coating later on. Next, we're doing the paint correction step. So as this is a brand new vehicle, it does have a bit of water spotting left. It does have a bit of swirls and scratches, and we're going to beautify the finish, make it as perfect as possible while preserving as much clear coat as possible. So I decided to opt for a one-step polish system. We're using the clean spray polish, 2 sprays on the clean by pan blue foam polishing pad, and of course the new clean 18mm dual action polisher to spread the product on the surface. I typically use speed number 2. So I'm spreading the product here, as you can tell. So two sprays is usually enough to prime the pad, and 1 or 2 sprays to replenish the pad. Next, I bump up to speed number 5 for the actual correction. So it is important. I have many tutorials, guys, on paint correction. With these kinds of polishers, you don't have to be scared about going or burning through the paint. These are as safe as it gets. You'd have to be standing on the same spot for over 10 to 15 minutes before even worrying about burning clear coat. So super fun tool to use, well balanced with that center mounted balancing of the battery. I did a collaboration with DIY Detail on this cordless polisher. So they have a 25mm, and I wanted something in between the larger throw of a 21mm and the more precision kind of cut of a 15mm. So 18mm is what I went with in this design. We're using the Clean by Pan Jobber 350 microfiber towel to remove the polish. And we have here a beautiful finish, crisper in the light as well. Of course, we're going to remove the oily residue that you see there with the panel prep spray later on, but compared to the untouched side where it's not as crisp, here you can see the light reflection with the inspection light. Way crisper, way sharper. We have more of the pop of the metallic flake. And of course, here on the untouched side, you see the swirls and scratches that weren't removed compared to the correction that we did. Same with the piano black or gloss black trim that you see here, either on the B-pillars or this kind of trim design from the dealership. When it was delivered, tons of swirls and scratches. So we're using a mini polisher here with a 3-inch head from ShineMate and the Clean by Pan blue foam polishing pad, because we have those in 3-inch, 5-inch, and 8-inch variants. So we primed the pad with the clean spray polish, 2 sprays of that, and take your time, a little up and down, a little left and right action here on the trim. And you should beautify that very easily. We're not going to go too crazy because this is a very delicate type surface. If you want to further refine, you can use the white waffle jeweling pad as well. But as we can see here, we removed the swirls and scratches, and that little oily type film we're going to remove with the panel prep spray to fully prep the whole thing. So the same thing here with the gloss black or piano black finish on the mirrors. Those were swirled and scratched and all that kind of stuff. It seems that we just breathe on gloss black trim and it swirls and scratches right super easily. So now we're back to an amazing finish. We inspect always with inspection lights. This is a Nex LED inspection light, super high quality. And so this is for part 1, guys. I remind you, I'll leave the links to all the tools, products, and equipment in the description below. Stay tuned very soon for part number 2. We're going to do the panel prep spray. We're going to apply the ceramic coating. We're going to look at the final results together. Keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you on the next one.